My name is Nora. I'm 28 years old. And 3 months ago, I almost died. Not in a car accident. Not from a sudden illness. Not from anything the universe decided to throw at me randomly. Someone killed me. Slowly. Carefully. Day by day, meal by meal, glass by glass. And the whole time they were doing it, they were smiling at me, asking me how my day was, telling me they loved me, tucking me into bed at night while my own body was shutting down from the inside. I'm going to tell you everything. Every symptom I ignored. Every red flag I missed. Every time I looked into the eyes of the person trying to destroy me and saw nothing but love looking back. But before I do, I need you to understand something. The person who almost killed me wasn't a stranger who broke into my house. They had a key. They had a room. They had my childhood photos on their phone. They were sleeping 20 feet away from me every single night while I was dying. And when I finally found out who, my heart didn't just break. It shattered into pieces so small. I'm still trying to find them all. Let me take you back to before everything fell apart. Back when I still believed my life was normal. It started 6 weeks before the collapse. Maybe longer. I don't know exactly. That's the thing about slow poison. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't knock on your door wearing a black mask. It whispers. It starts with small things. Things you can explain away. I was tired. Everyone gets tired. I worked long hours. I wasn't sleeping well. That made sense, right? Except the tiredness wasn't normal tiredness. It was the kind of exhaustion that lives in your bones. The kind where you wake up after 10 hours of sleep and you feel like you haven't closed your eyes at all. I ignored it. Then came the taste. A strange, metallic flavor that no one else could taste. I asked my mom if she put something different in the food. She said no. I asked my brother. He said I was imagining it. Maybe I was. But I wasn't. Because then came the dizziness. The moments where the room would tilt for no reason. Standing up from my desk. Walking up the stairs. Driving home from work. I almost crashed twice. I told myself I was dehydrated. Low blood sugar. Too much caffeine. Not enough caffeine. My body was just being weird. The human mind is incredible at protecting itself from the truth. Especially when the truth is unthinkable. I never once thought someone was poisoning me. Not once. I thought I was sick. Maybe an autoimmune thing. Maybe I needed vitamins. Maybe I was just getting older and this was what adult exhaustion felt like. I went to a doctor. They ran blood tests. Everything came back normal. Slightly elevated liver enzymes, but nothing alarming. Get more sleep, they said. Reduce your stress. Eat better. I tried. I really tried. I went to bed earlier. I drank more water. I even started taking those wellness supplements my mom kept leaving on my nightstand with little notes that said, "For my beautiful daughter." Every morning, the glass was there. Every morning, I drank it. Because that's what you do when your mother loves you. You trust her. You don't ask questions. You don't wonder why she watches you drink it. You don't notice the way her eyes track the glass from your lips to the empty bottom. I noticed nothing. And that's exactly how she wanted it. The night it happened, I came home from work exhausted. More exhausted than usual. My legs felt heavy. My head felt foggy. I almost called in sick, but I didn't want to worry anyone. Dinner was ready when I got there. My mom had made my favorite. She always made my favorite on days when I looked tired. Isn't that sweet? She set a glass of juice next to my plate. Freshly squeezed, she said. Good for your immune system. You need to take care of yourself, sweetheart. I drank it. I don't remember finishing dinner. I remember my brother making a joke about something. I remember laughing. I remember the room feeling warm. Too warm. Then I remember standing up. And then, nothing. They told me later what happened. I collapsed in the middle of the kitchen. My body went stiff. My eyes rolled back. I was convulsing on the floor while my dinner plate shattered next to me. My brother called 911. His hands were shaking so badly he dropped the phone twice. My mom was screaming. My dad was yelling at someone to get towels, get water, do something. I don't remember any of it. The next thing I knew, I was in a hospital bed. Bright lights. Beeping machines. The smell of antiseptic so strong it burned my nose. There were people standing around my bed. My mom. My dad. My brother. Their faces were pale. Their eyes were red. My mom was holding my hand so tightly it hurt. I tried to speak. My throat was dry. My voice came out as a whisper. What happened? No one answered right away. My brother looked at my mom. My mom looked at my dad. My dad looked at the floor. Then the doctor walked in. He sat down next to my bed. He asked how I was feeling. Weak, I said. Really weak. He nodded slowly. Then he said something that I still hear in my nightmares. Nora, we ran a full toxicology panel. We found something in your system that shouldn't be there. I remember frowning. What do you mean? He paused. He looked at my family. Then back at me. It appears you've been exposed to a toxic substance over a prolonged period. Weeks, possibly months. Small amounts. Consistent exposure. The kind of poisoning that mimics chronic illness. I stopped breathing. Poisoning? I whispered. The doctor nodded. I looked at my mom. She was crying. Sobbing, actually. Great heaving sobs that shook her whole body. Who would do this? She screamed. Who would hurt my baby? I looked at my brother. He wasn't crying. He was frozen. His face was white. His hands were clenched into fists at his sides. Someone in this room did this, he said quietly. The room went cold. The police arrived within an hour. They asked questions. Lots of questions. What did you eat? Who prepared the food? Did anyone give you anything? Vitamins? Drinks? Supplements? I answered everything. I told them about the fatigue, the dizziness, the strange taste, the supplements my mom left for me. When I mentioned the supplements, my mom spoke up immediately. They're just vitamins, she said. From a health store. I take them myself. Ask anyone. The officer wrote it down. Then he turned to my brother. And what about you? Where were you when your sister got sick? My brother's jaw tightened. At work. Then home. Same as every day. My mom wiped her eyes. She looked at the officer. Her voice was shaky but clear. I don't want to say this, she said. But you should know. My son has always been jealous of his sister. What? He said. My mom continued. The inheritance. The attention. Nora always got more. He never said anything, but I could see it. The resentment. The officer turned back to my brother. Is that true? My brother looked at my mom. Then at me. Then back at the officer. No, he said. It's not true. But no one believed him. They arrested him that night. My brother. The person who taught me to ride a bike. The person who drove me to school every morning. The person who sat with me in the emergency room when I broke my arm at 12 years old and didn't leave my side for 6 hours. They put him in handcuffs. In front of everyone. And I didn't say a word. Because for one terrible moment, I thought maybe they were right. The days after my brother's arrest were a blur. The police searched our house. They tested every bottle in the kitchen. Every glass. Every plate. Every container. They found nothing. No poison in the food. No poison in the water. No poison anywhere obvious. Whoever did this knew what they were doing. They didn't leave traces. They didn't make mistakes. Or so they thought. My brother sat in a holding cell for 3 days. 3 days of questions. 3 days of accusations. 3 days of watching his life fall apart for something he didn't do. And on the 3rd day, he asked for a phone call. He called me. Nora, I need you to listen to me. Really listen. I'm listening. I didn't do this. You know I didn't do this. But someone did. And they're still out there. They're still in the house. I closed my eyes. Start watching, he said. Start paying attention. The person who's doing this, they can't hide forever. They'll make a mistake. And when they do, you'll see it. I didn't sleep that night. When I went home 5 days later, everything looked the same. Same furniture. Same smells. Same routines. But I wasn't the same. I started watching. Not obviously. Not suspiciously. Just paying attention. Who made the tea? Who poured the juice? Who was always nearby when I ate? At first, I noticed nothing unusual. But then, small things. The way my mom would watch me finish my supplements every morning. Not casually. Intently. Like she needed to make sure I drank every last drop. The way she would get quiet whenever the police called with updates. The way she deflected every question about the supplements. They're from a health store. I don't remember which one. Why are you asking me? I'm the one taking care of her. I didn't want to believe it. I really didn't. But my brother's voice kept echoing in my head. It happened on a Tuesday. I couldn't sleep. My body was still weak from everything. My mind wouldn't stop racing. So I just lay there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, thinking about my brother sitting in a cell for a crime he didn't commit. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Someone was in the hallway. My heart stopped. I held my breath. The footsteps continued, moving away from my room, down the hall, toward the kitchen. I got out of bed. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a weapon. I just had the desperate need to know. I crept down the hallway, barefoot, silent. I stopped at the corner, peeked around. My blood turned to ice. It was my mother. I pulled back, pressed myself against the wall, held my breath. I didn't move for 10 minutes. I just stood there in the dark, shaking, while my entire childhood replayed in my head like a movie I couldn't turn off. Every memory, every meal, every drink this, it's good for you. Every time she watched me swallow. She wasn't watching because she loved me. She was watching to make sure I was dying. I didn't sleep at all that night. At 6 a.m., I called my brother from my phone. He was still in custody, but they let him take the call. I know who it is, I whispered. Silence. Who? I couldn't say it. Not yet. Come home, I said. I'll tell the police you're innocent. Just come home. He was released 4 hours later. I was sitting in the living room. My brother sat next to me. My father was at work. It was just the three of us. My mom came in from the kitchen. She wiped her hands on a towel. She looked at my brother, then at me. So, she said, you're back. My brother didn't answer. I looked at her. Really looked at her. For the first time in my life, I saw past the smile. And I realized I had never known her at all. It's you, I said. My mother tilted her head. What's me, sweetheart? The poison. My mother didn't move. Didn't blink. Didn't react. Then she smiled. Why would you say something so horrible? She asked. I'm your mother. I love you. My brother stood up. His voice was shaking with rage. We found the bottle. Last night. Hidden behind the canned goods in the back cabinet. The one no one uses. My mother's smile flickered. Don't be ridiculous. I pulled out my phone. The recording played. Every sound from the night before. The footsteps. The pouring. The humming. When it ended, the room was silent. My mother looked at me. For the first time in my life, I saw her without the mask. You want to know why? She asked. Not, that wasn't me. Not, you're lying. Not any of the denials I had prepared myself for. Just, you want to know why? Because you took everything from me, she said. Your father's attention. Your grandmother's inheritance. The life I was supposed to have. I gave up everything for you. My body. My career. My dreams. And what did I get in return? A daughter who barely called. Who moved out the first chance she got. Who lived her own life while I sat here, alone. So yes, she said. I put things in your food. Small things. Things that would make you weak. Things that would make you need me again. My brother was crying now too. His fists were clenched. His whole body was shaking. You almost killed her, he whispered. My mother shrugged. But I didn't. She's still here. And now she knows how much I've suffered. I stood up. My legs were weak. My heart was shattered into pieces I couldn't find. I looked at the woman who gave me life. And I said the only thing I could. Get out. What? Get out of this house. Get out of my life. I never want to see you again. My mother stood up. Her composure returned quickly. Too quickly. You'll regret this, she said. I'm the only one who ever loved you. She was right about one thing. I do regret it. Not the choice. The choice was right. I regret that I ever had to make it. 3 months later, my mother confessed to everything. Not because the police caught her. Not because she was sorry. Because she wanted control over the story. One last time. She's in a facility now. Not prison. Somewhere for people who need help. who have spent so long lost inside their own pain that they couldn't see the damage they were doing to everyone else. I visit her sometimes. Not because I forgive her. I'm not sure I ever will. Because she's still my mother. And somewhere, buried under all that poison and all that rage and all that pain, there's a woman who once sang me lullabies. Who held me when I was scared. Who made me feel like I was the most important person in the world. I don't know if that woman ever really existed. Maybe she was always a ghost. A performance. A story my mother told herself. But I choose to believe she was real. Because the alternative is too dark to live with. If you're watching this and something feels wrong in your own home, if someone's love feels like a cage instead of a shelter, trust yourself. Pay attention. The truth doesn't hide forever.